Okay, welcome back. So I'm gonna try and come with back-to-back videos simply because I be having a lot to say, and um, I just really be having a lot to say. So, and I do a lot of reflecting, not necessarily because I'm always in my head. I'm just really always trying to better myself and like always trying to learn and I live for knowledge. So the wheels in my head are always spinning, okay? And with that being said, I want to acknowledge something that I realize that I do and I thought it was okay. Um, I didn't think it was harmful to anybody personally, but I realized that just because I'm that way, it doesn't mean everybody else is that way. And so, therefore, some people don't hold the same capacity for my expression. So, um, so I am going to acknowledge this to a person, um, because I I personally keep a lot of things to myself, especially since I first started my journey or I was aware of it. I kept a lot of things to myself. One, because when I first started gaining my knowledge, when I first started um, experiencing things, I shared it with people and they didn't understand. Um, I got a lot of backlash. I got a lot of negativity in return. So I just learned to keep things to myself. Um, and I started it about 3 years ago. And so I met somebody that I felt comfortable talking to and opening up to. And honestly, I think I came on very strong with how open I was. Um, and that was on me because I really felt comfortable with this person. And I didn't realize how much I was projecting onto them, um, as far as my experience. I talked about, the mirroring aspects and, being an observer and also, helping people when they really don't want the help. And so when I started to now, I had started feeling things like I can feel things on people, um, and I can read people. I know that sounds weird, but I can like read people. Like I can pick up on things. And so when I was saying, like the mirroring aspects and the reflection, when you can pick up things on people, sometimes it's just there for you to observe and not for you to tell them because some people aren't ready. Just because you feel it doesn't mean that they're ready to accept it, and take accountability for it. So I personally am ready to take accountability for my flaws, my imperfections, um, and other things simply because I have to take accountability for it and acknowledge it in order to release it. you know? And so just because I'm at that place in my life doesn't mean other people are ready for that themselves. And I'm literally just coming to that realization. So I wanted to acknowledge what I was doing in the hopes that it brings awareness to somebody else that, and I want to say it's empathic, or maybe like just really sensitive to people. So I want to acknowledge that and make that aware to people who are just learning themselves and things like that. You know, to be aware of what you project onto other people and if they can handle it. So I it's not easy holding yourself accountable for things, and not necessarily I say that I feel regret, I mean guilt, but I do feel regret in some form for not being able to see it while it was happening. But that's usually sometimes that's usually how it goes. You don't really look at what you're doing wrong when your intentions are good. So acknowledging that within myself and acknowledging that part of myself that may have been selfish. I'm going to move forward and take that into account on my journey. And I just wanted to, before, because I'm going to personally apologize to this person, whether they really want me to or not, I'm just going to do it because it's going to make me feel better. Because I like to hold myself accountable for the things that I do. And I also like to, that's a way of forgiveness for me. I'm forgiving myself, and I don't necessarily have to apologize because I acknowledge it within myself, and I know moving forward that I would try my best to not do it, but making the next person aware of it, I would hope that it would, and I won't even say hope because I'm not doing it for somebody to acknowledge what I'm doing. Really, forgiveness is for you. It's to take the weight off of yourself and doing your part. And even though I thought I was doing my part with even bringing up certain things and projecting certain things, it was different because it was my personal truth that I was experiencing, but attaching it to somebody else and their experience, if that makes sense. So I was picking up on their energy, but it was also something that was triggering me, you know? So what I was picking up, it triggered me. And so I spoke on it when it was actually something they were dealing with themselves. So therefore, I could have just acknowledged it within myself and moved accordingly on my own instead of involving them in it, whether they were ready or not. And so I just want people to recognize that the apology doesn't have to come if you go about it the right way the first time. And so that's why the apology is coming, because I do realize that I may have hurt that person in the process, and I want to acknowledge that I may have hurt them unintentionally. That's it, really. I just basically realized how I was projecting onto somebody with my own personal truths that they weren't ready to acknowledge within themselves. So I'm sharing this for others to be mindful of their process when it comes to their own healing, because as we're all going through a healing process in America, right? And I'm seeing this a lot with people projecting onto others, like Black Lives Matter, and then you have people who respond and say all lives matter, and stop police brutality, and then or stop killing black people, the white people stop killing black people, and then you have people who in turn say, well, there's black on black crime. I honestly understand from everybody's point of view. Like, I honestly get the Black Lives Matter, and then I understand why people are saying all lives matter. Some people are saying it to deflect away from that black people are going through oppression. And some people are saying it because all lives do matter. You know what I'm saying? But the black community is saying we're not saying all lives don't matter. We're just saying that our lives are under attack. So in the end, we matter. And, the white on black crime and the black on black crime, like, that's something so heavy to me. The black on black crime. And no, it does not exist. And I don't even think white on black crime exists. I think it's hate crimes when it all boils down to it. It's hate crimes. And we have hate crimes within our own community. So if we even just stop looking at the division of black on black and white on black crime and just recognize it as this hate. We kill people because we hate them or we have anger towards them. It doesn't even necessarily matter about the skin color. We do it because there's something within us that dislikes the other person. And it's a whole nother video that I'll talk about on that. But I just wanted to make this video. Maybe I upload the next video because I don't want them to be too long, and I don't want to connect these two topics. So yeah, that's that. Everybody have a beautiful night.